real.
Do you have a secret sister?
I believe I do have a sister out there.
Janet Jackson.
Some rumors fade with time. Others burn out in the chaos of the news cycle. But then there are the rare ones, the whispers so potent, so loaded with intrigue, that they survive for decades, growing bigger each time they resurface. For nearly 40 years, one of those whispers has haunted the music industry. Did Janet Jackson secretly give birth to a child during her marriage to James DeBarge? It's a story that blends love, fame, family control, and the lengths people will go to protect an image. A story with enough twists to feel like a Hollywood movie. Except the people in it are real, and some of them insist the ending hasn't been told yet. Now James says his upcoming documentary will finally put the truth on record. He's promising to end it all at once. But in a world where image is currency, how much truth is too much truth? The early connection. This wasn't some random celebrity hookup. James and Janet's connection began quietly, away from flashing cameras. It was the early 80s. James was a teenager in Detroit, already part of a musical family signed to Motown. Janet was the youngest Jackson, still known more for her acting roles on Good Times and Different Strokes than for her music. Their link came through James' older brother Bobby, who was dating Janet's sister LaToya. Through that connection, James and Janet started talking on the phone. He says he was about 14. She was around 12. They spent years building that friendship through long-distance calls, sharing their experiences of growing up in high-pressure, high-expectation households. The meeting that changed everything. When they finally met in person years later, it didn't feel like meeting a stranger. They already had a shared history. And that familiarity turned into something romantic fast. In 1984, they made the choice to elope. Janet was just 18, James was 21. The decision shocked even those closest to them. Not that it was public knowledge right away. Why the secrecy? For Janet, the secrecy wasn't just about love, it was about freedom. Her father, Joe Jackson, was notoriously controlling, managing not just her career but her personal life. Marriage was her ticket out, her chance to start making decisions for herself. But the man she married was carrying battles of his own, the early days. At first, the marriage seemed like a bold love story. Two young stars trying to make it work despite demanding schedules and constant public attention. But inside their home, the cracks were quick to appear. James's struggles. James has openly admitted that he was dealing with substance issues even in those early days. Janet has described moments where she found pills hidden in the house and tried to flush them, only to end up in physical struggles to keep them away from him. She was barely out of high school, yet already playing the role of caretaker, emotional anchor, and sometimes crisis manager. The wedding night warning sign. One of the most telling moments came on their wedding night. Janet says they checked into a hotel in Grand Rapids, Michigan. James told her he'd be right back, and then disappeared for hours. She sat alone in the room on what was supposed to be one of the happiest nights of her life, on set of Fame. By late 1984, Janet's role on Fame was keeping her busy, but co-stars and crew members noticed something different. Her clothes were looser, her face fuller, and her energy slower. Janet has said the explanation was simple. She'd started taking birth control pills, which at the time were known for causing water retention and weight gain. But in an industry obsessed with image, changes like that didn't go unnoticed. The American Music Awards moment fans point to one moment above all others as proof something was going on. The 1984 American Music Awards. Janet appeared on stage, and according to some in the audience, there was a visible baby bump. Tito Jackson, standing next to her, was seen holding his jacket in a way that seemed to shield her midsection from the cameras. The sudden disappearance. Shortly after, Janet seemed to step out of the spotlight briefly. When she reappeared, the fuller figure was gone. But there was no baby, no announcement, and no explanation. If you listen to the DeBarge family, they don't talk about this like gossip. They talk about it like history. Bunny DeBarge's claim. James' sister Bunny says she saw Janet pregnant. She says Janet disappeared from public view, then came back without the pregnancy, and without a baby being mentioned. Christina DeBarge's belief. Christina, James's daughter from another relationship, says she believes she has a half-sister somewhere out there. She's spoken about feeling robbed of a relationship and about the sadness she feels knowing her father might have been denied the chance to know his own child. Daryl DeBarge's statement. James' brother Daryl echoed the same story in a radio interview, saying outright that the child was real and that Janet's powerful family made sure the truth never came out. In the mid-2010s, Tiffany White made headlines when she claimed to be the secret daughter of Janet Jackson and James DeBarge. Her story. Tiffany said she'd been adopted and had always been told her biological parents were famous. She claimed she'd spent years believing she might be connected to the Jackson family. The DNA test, James' mother agreed to take a DNA test to find out the truth. The results showed no relation between Tiffany and the DeBarge family. For most people, that ended the conversation, but James said no. Tiffany might not be the one, but his daughter was still out there. In her 2022 documentary, Janet, she directly addressed the long-standing rumor. They were saying I had a child and I kept it secret. How could I keep a child from their father? I could never do that. That's not right. She explained that the speculation began on fame when she gained weight from birth control. Over time, she says it snowballed into wilder stories. That she gave the baby to her sister Rebby, that her niece Brandy was really her daughter, or that another relative, Stevana, was the child because of their resemblance. She denied all of it, but some noticed she never said the exact words. I did not have a baby. Believers point to multiple family members on both sides claiming they knew. Alleged sightings of Janet visibly pregnant in public. The Jackson family's history of controlling narratives to protect careers. James' consistent insistence over decades. In the pre-internet era, celebrity rumors relied on tabloids, fan magazines, and call-in radio shows. The Jacksons were a tabloid goldmine. Blind items about a teenage star hiding a pregnancy circulated in gossip columns. Fans shared stories at concerts and fan club meetups. And because the Jacksons rarely commented directly on rumors, the silence allowed speculation to grow. In 2025, James began promoting a documentary he says will reveal major truths about his marriage to Janet and the child he believes they had. He says he wants to end it all at once and share his side without holding back. If James delivers evidence, this could rewrite a piece of music history. If not, the mystery will remain unsolved, maybe forever. Because in Hollywood, truth and myth often share the same stage. And remember, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you enjoyed the video and want to see more of what's to come in the future. I suggest you stay tuned. And don't miss future posts as always. Thanks for watching. Believers point to multiple family members on both sides claiming they knew. Alleged sightings of Janet visibly pregnant in public.